Welcome to Find Your Fortitude Friday. Again, if you've been following me on Instagram, second one of the day, a little later today. I was out getting stuff done in this madness. But as I was saying earlier with the video that I did on Instagram about, I'm just gonna jump right into it. Like we still don't have an intro. There's no intro for this yet. It's not a podcast yet. We got the mic, it's just not set up. So we're just jumping right into it. All this craziness in the world right now is what goes on in a lot of people's life on a daily basis, or if it's not a daily basis, something that they've gone through in their life that's kind of changed it. And, for me, it's losing my mom. That changed everything, along with losing other people, and seeing other people lose loved ones. And see, I always talk about how my grandma lost both her daughters, and I look at her and my grandpa and see how strong they are. Stuff like that. And I'm not trying to compare. I'm not trying to compare the two. I'm trying to get to the point of something like this changes, especially for a lot of people. Jobs, the economy is going to be a lot different financially. Hopefully not health, but this is affecting other people, so it could be health. When you go through something like that, it changes you. It changes your view on things, and you understand that life happens, and life knocks you out. It knocks you down. Hopefully not out. And so, growing up, I always the area that I grew up in, I'd always look at people who went through, tough times, whether it was losing your job or an ugly breakup, ugly divorce, anything that was what I thought back then was bad, until I grew up and realized what life really is all about, that they had a bad outlook on life. And I didn't really want to be around those people because typically they're like miserable, and that's still true. But now I've seen the complete flip side of it, and when I see now people that have gone through stuff, serious shit, I mean real serious to the point where I don't even need to say it. You either understand what life's all about or you don't. But people who have gone through those things, they're incredible people. The ones that make the choice to look at the good instead of focusing on the bad. Those are incredible people, and it's the people that get so stuck on the bad, the negativity, the things that went wrong in their life. That's hard to be around. I'm not gonna lie. And then there's the people who have never been through anything. God bless them. They've never been through anything. I say, and I don't know if this is politically correct, but they've kind of lived under a bubble. They've been sheltered in the sense that the littlest thing kind of throws them off because they've never really been hit hard by life. And I'm saying all this to the point of going through something like this. It changes. Use it to help change your goals, your attitude on life, compassion for people, understanding for situations. And don't let this define you, even if right now you're in a tough spot. Don't let this define you. Financially, I don't really remember the recession. I know technically we're not in a recession right now, but I don't really remember the recession of 2008, the housing crash. But now that I'm actually an adult, kind of, but I'm understanding the effects that the economy is having on people, families, households. So it's hard for me to say because I'm not trying to say like just be happy and everything's gonna be okay, but instead use the struggle to help expand you. If it's financially, because this is most likely going to happen again. whether it's not because of a virus. Recessions just happen. So if it's financially, do whatever you can do to not be in the position you are now for the next one to come. Use that, and don't be pissed off at politics or the world or this or that or policies for closing things down. Like, yeah, it sucks. Obviously it sucks, but don't be so focused on that. Control what you can control. And I feel like I say the same thing in all of my videos. You can't control anything that's happening on the outside, but you can control what's in your mind and the stuff you do. So if it's financially, just don't do what you can so you're not in this position again. I'm like, my finances just got pretty messed up based on my investments and jobs that I had lined up and different things where the economy is slowing down. So is Marky Mark, but not with this. But even I'm not letting it stop me. I'm not letting it change anything because you just keep going. I'm not letting it, this is life. Like, I can't stress it enough. And it's like, I smile when I say it, not in the sense like I'm so happy people are going through all this, but in the sense that you need life to knock you down to change your view on life. Some people don't, and those are very rare people. I don't think I've really met it. I've met a few people that really haven't gone through anything serious, and have a great outlook on life. But for the most part, you need to get hit hard, knocked down by life, in order to change the way you think, the way your goals, for you to reevaluate your life and what's important to you and what's not. So if it's your finances, make sure you're not in this position again if it happens again. Relationship, understand that nothing is promised. So being sad about not being able to see loved ones because they're older and you don't want to infect them with this. So you have to keep your distance and worrying that what's going to happen to them. This literally happened out of nowhere. Like a week ago, you could see him and everything was fine. Now it's scary. So remember that. I keep repeating it, so when we are past this, don't forget it. Remember it. So don't take people for granted. Don't take relationships for granted. Understand that there's not always a tomorrow. Jobs, job security. Make sure, it's hard because I don't want to say things that are insensitive for people who are losing their jobs, but don't take having a job for granted. And if you have a job and you're working from home, shut the fuck up about having to work from home and not going in, because a lot of people are losing their jobs out there. So shut the fuck up. I'm sorry for cussing for the children. But shut the fuck up. It's beyond annoying. It's beyond obnoxious. Like, people who are stressed out because, I'm not going to get into it because we're keeping things positive here. So that is, use this as a knockdown. So at the other side of it, you can grow from it. You can realize your insecurities, your fears, whatever struggles you had during this. When we're finally out and you have your feet under you again, what can you do not to experience this again? Use this to elevate you. Again, perspective is everything. Perspective is everything in life. I can't watch the news. It's painful. It's hard for me to go on social media. That's why I just stick to the dating apps. That's a joke. That's really a joke, kind of. But because everybody's just bitching about something. People, there's some very optimistic people thinking that something like this could bring us together, which would be a miracle. But at the end of the day, you can see people's perspectives, and it's the people. Some people are like trying to uplift people and share and help and do their part. And then there's other people that are just bitching about everything, like ridiculous amount of bitching. And I don't get the point. Like, I don't get it. But the problem with that is it's contagious. So you may be in a good mood at home, but then you're on social media and you're reading it. So then you just want to spread the negativity, and it's just awful. So during this lockdown period, first and foremost, hopefully you're healthy. Hopefully your loved ones are healthy. And if they are, instead of being, it's a lot easier said than done. Trust me, I understand in your lowest points that it's so easy to say things are going to get better, but that's not going to instantly snap you out of things. Trust me, I understand. So do things that make you happy. For me, I've been, running, yoga, trying to get more into meditation, get better at that. It's freaking difficult to meditate, to just clear your mind for 5 minutes and just relax and be at peace. It's very difficult. And also read, read a book, turn off TV, turn off the TV. Like, I'm really trying to read a lot more. But just things that just make you think. And the biggest thing, and I know it's scary and a lot of people don't want to do it, just self-reflect on weaknesses of yours that you could improve. So with all this, obviously, this is an easy point of this week's episode, to find your fortitude, because everything we're going through, you need fortitude to not just wallow and kind of sink in with everybody else and be negative about everything and be pessimistic. So you need your fortitude to be optimistic. For me, this is very simple. Like, I've been isolated in a house before. I worked from home before. So for me, this is easy. But for people who are unaccustomed to it, understand you're not the only ones. This is very difficult for people, especially to be alone. The uncertainty, it's scary. It's very scary. It's hard for a lot of people to be with themselves. To touch on a little point, which I want to get into in another video. This has been a good episode so far, I feel. Or maybe it hasn't. It's just late at night. So it's Friday night. This is like a one shot and it's going up. So I hope it's good. But I've been getting a lot of messages about, like, because I'm so into self-growth and mental health, like that. Like, I feel like I've really shifted from fitness and, cardio and nutrition to mental health, because for myself, I'm realizing how mental health is everything. When I eat Oreos at night, it's not because I feel like I deserve a treat because I worked out so hard or anything like that from like a health perspective. It's because sometimes I'm lonely and I just want Oreos, it's not sad, but like, I'm not like trying to be like sad here, but sometimes I come home and it's just like, I'm lonely. Even when I'm with people, I felt lonely, where I want like Oreos and dessert, and I eat because I'm lonely. A lot of people can't say that, and a lot of people can't admit that, and so they deny it, and then they make jokes about it when deep down you're searching for safety, and then you find comfort. You're not searching for, I can't remember if I've talked about it or not, but I'm not searching for Oreos and some late night desserts for a sweet tooth to keep me comfortable. Like, I don't want that. I'm searching for safety, but I can't find it, so I just have whatever's comfortable at the time. Stuff like that. Damn, I lost my track of thought. I really got sidetracked there. Damn, that was a good point though. But what I'm saying is, don't be afraid to be honest. Mental health. That's why I've been transitioning, because it's not my nutrition that's an issue. It's why do I feel lonely? Even, again, don't feel bad for me. Even when I'm with people, I still, like, I just notice it. Like, it's like so you can't change it until you understand it. So anyways, with the mental health, I've really been transitioning into it. And people message me and they kind of ask me, like, how do I even get started? This and that. And how to get started, I honestly don't know. You just have to, first off, you need to start listing your mistakes, or listing things that you're not proud of. Start saying them out loud, start being open about them, and stop being fake. Stop the fakeness. I talked about it last week. Stop the fakeness. You're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Don't get mad that you're not perfect. Don't be scared to show somebody your imperfection because you're not perfect. So you need to admit your flaws, your weaknesses, things you need to work on. And it's okay. Don't be so hard on yourself. And so my thing is, especially with the lockdown, a lot of people are like kind of freaking out that they're alone, or even if they're not alone at home, they feel like they're alone. Like, they're just stuck. They don't have their daily distractions. So if you have a hard time being alone and you just have all these anxieties and fears and all these insecurities come about that you've never experienced before because you're so distracted by life, and being around people, and just essentially surrounding yourself with bullshit. If all this stuff's hitting you, I equate that to walking up a flight of stairs and being winded for your physical health. If you walk up the stairs and you're winded, we got to get cardio. We got to start talking about diet and nutrition and your fitness. And that's the same. If you're at home and you can't bear bear being alone, you got to work on it. And And again, this isn't something to be ashamed of. Like, people don't talk about it enough. And I'm just finally come to the point, like, I wasn't scared to cry on Big Brother because look at me. Like, people would look at me and, well, look at him. He can cry and he can show his emotions. Why can't I? So I'm kind of to the point where I don't care what anybody says, what anybody thinks, whether it's weakness or not. Mental health is a very big thing here. And people don't talk about it enough. People don't stress it enough. And that's why people, even if they seem fine, deep down they're miserable. I mean, I've seen it and heard it like just way too many times, and it's just because people, instead of working on themselves and truly being happy, they don't want to go through that pain, because it's pain. It's loneliness. It's fear of the unknown. You know, it's preferred hells to it's known hells to unknown heavens. People just prefer the known hells. They prefer what they know, because as miserable as you are, you know you can survive it. I think that's the scariest thing, is that not knowing if you can survive something, no matter how simple it may seem to you. You don't know if you can survive it because you've never done it before. And so I hope that had a good flow to it. You know, I got out a lot of good points. I freaking love these episodes. But that's Find Your Fortitude Friday. We're summing it up with the point of the show today. For the fortitude, with all this scariness, all the negativity, all the uncertainty of what's happening in the world right now, you need fortitude. You don't need fortitude in the sense to survive, because you're going to survive one way or another. Whether you're really positive or really freaking negative, you're going to survive. But you need fortitude to thrive and allow this to open up your eyes for things you can improve on. And I think that's where a lot of people can grow. I truly believe people don't grow when everything's going your way. When nothing's wrong, how are you supposed to grow? Because you don't know what you need to work on. But it's in your darkest hour where you realize things you can work on to improve, to grow. But with that's a lot easier said than done. I've said that a million times. I need a new line. But I think it's so easy for me because I truly understand it. I'm a true believer in that. Like, I need to get knocked down in order to realize why I got knocked down. You got knocked down for a reason. Like, life can throw things at you. Doesn't mean it's going to knock you down. If it knocks you down, there's an underlying reason why you're scared. You let that bother you so much. You got so upset about it. You have all these insecurities coming out. There's a reason. There's an underlying reason you need to figure out. And so, but that only happens if you set your ego aside and understand that you're not perfect. You're not, no, you're not. And you need to work on things. And it's a constant work in progress. Matthew McConaughey said it best when he said, my role model is 10 years from now, is myself 10 years from now, because you never reach it. You never reach it, but you have something to look forward to, but you're always growing. You're always reaching for something higher. So be aware of that and just take this time to focus on you. You know, turn off all the negativity, focus on you. That's Find Your Fortitude Friday. That's one hell of an episode. And I'll see you guys next week or tomorrow morning on Instagram after my amazing run in 33-degree weather in Buffalo, New York. But anyways, this is Deborah Geiger's baby boy, Mark Jansen, and thank you for tuning in.